Hello, today I'm going to be looking at my Hewlett-Packard 3314A function generator. I've had this one for quite a long time. If you turn it on, you get the little countdown here, and it says calibrating. It's doing some self-checks, and there it goes. So 1000 hertz. We can move the decimal here with the range button. So we got 1000 kilohertz now. Of course, you could turn the knob if you're going to make smaller changes. 1000 kilohertz. Amplitude is at 10 millivolts. Again, we can move this. Let's do 1 volt peak to peak. We're at 0 offset, 50% symmetry. We'll look at the scope here. So the scope, LaCroix 454, 500 megahertz scope, and we're seeing a frequency of 1 megahertz. The voltage is 1.01. There's pretty much no offset, so everything looks like it's working great. If you go back to frequency, we can do a 10 megahertz signal. Coming back to the scope, of course the image has changed and we have 10 megahertz. Now let's go back to a 1 megahertz signal, and we can lower the voltage, right? Now we're at a half a volt. Oh, get it there. Half a volt. We'll come over here. We've got our 1 megahertz signal, half a volt. Okay. We could look at a square wave. And there's your square wave. Now we could adjust the symmetry of the square wave. Right, starting out at 50%. And of course you can adjust it. So that's working well. Push the little blue second button, go back to 50%. Okay, we could do triangle waves. Yeah. Back to sine waves. Now this is where it gets a little weird. We're at 0 volts offset, and sure enough, 0 volts offset. Now if we start changing the offset a little bit, 0.1 volt offset, I'd expect 100 millivolts, but for some reason I'm getting 220 or so. Right, if we go to the negative side, let's say negative 0.4, I'm getting 260. So it seems like it's off 150 millivolts, something like that. Just did that math real quick in my head. Yeah. But of course, if we go to 0, everything is right. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Maybe the offset is out of calibration or something. Otherwise, it seems to be working real well. I just got a new modern synthesized arbitrary waveform generator, so I'm considering letting this one go. It's worked real well for me over the years. So we can do a sweep too, right? If we have a sweep interval, our start frequency, let's say 10 kilohertz. Our stop frequency, we'll say 100 kilohertz, and turn on the sweep. And if you come over here, of course we're going to have to adjust that, but we should see a sweep going on the scope. So I mean, it works well. Generally I've been happy with it. It's the main limitation is it's only good up to about, I think it's 20 megahertz. Let's see here. We can select the digit using these buttons. So let's just turn it all the way up. Yeah, so 19.99 megahertz. We'll turn the sweep off. And sure enough, we're at 20 megahertz. Now this one, oops, that's a touch screen, you gotta be careful. Now this one can do very small amplitudes. Let's turn the frequency down. Let's say, sure, 2 megahertz. We can do very small frequencies, right? We can get into the millivolts. Let's get a 2 megahertz signal that's 30 millivolts peak to peak. And adjust here. Probably need to adjust the trigger a little. Still getting used to this new scope here, but there's the trigger. Alright, so we've got a 30 millivolt peak to peak, 2 megahertz. Of course, we can go smaller than that. Alright, here's 5 millivolts. Of course, we're going to have to adjust the trigger here again. Look at that, 5 millivolt signal. And we can go smaller than that even. Of course, you can go all the way down to 1. But look at this fractional millivolt stuff. I don't think I'll be able to pick that up well on my scope, but let's try it. A quarter millivolt. Yeah. Let's see if we can get the trigger on there. I don't know if we can add a few more bits using the noise filtering. That's the best we're going to do, but look at that. Oops. Talking a 300 microvolt. That's about a quarter millivolt. And we're still looking there at, it's jumping around, but I'm seeing getting close to 2 megahertz. So, right, this thing can generate really small signals when you need it, and that can be very handy sometimes. Anyway, that was a quick look at my old HP3314A. Seems to be working overall, except some kind of issue going on with the offset being, well, a little bit off, except when it's at 0. Thank you very much.